The most fascinating thing about motorcycle riding, especially when I'm riding by myself, is that it naturally becomes a tool to connect with people in a very special way. There were occasions that I couldn't speak the local language, and there were occasions that I was just riding and end up on an indigenous tribe, like intruder, and people look at me and through the fascination of motorcycling and the international communication that it is, I was able to connect it in a very deep and respectful way with a mutual admiration that wouldn't happen if I was in an organized tour group.
Hi, this is me and this is my motorbike. We have had an interesting and unusual love affair for the last few years. It's been a lot of fun. We've got to a lot of places, many places that people wouldn't believe a Harley would get to it. I've been a motorcycle fanatic all my life, and as far as I can remember, that's how I want to do it. In 2011, I had a serious motorcycle accident, and after banging my head to the ground, split my collarbone and smashing my foot in many bits, that addiction got a lot worse. And since then, I've done a lot of riding to fix that. I've done a good 25,000 Ks in South America, covering Patagonia and a few other countries. Done a good 6,000 Ks in Asia, and a lot of riding in New Zealand. But I think most importantly, that accident, it made me realize that my passion for riding overseas, crossing borders, seeing different people, different cultures, and experience all that, it's a lot greater than anything else I have in my life. I have a busy lifestyle here, I work a lot, but the realization came that I need to follow my dream now. And while I'm still here, while I'm young, while I'm fit, and while I can, there's no guarantee of how long we're gonna be here for. Yeah, I want this job because I'm already in the process, of following my dream. I've been setting up my life and my business to be able to pursue, my dream, and to start this journey in Europe would be just a blessing. Yeah, I don't really have like a dream route, to ride in Europe. In my opinion, no, Europe is probably the most, if not the most interesting continent to ride anyway, with the amount of, of different cultures on a small geographic area. It will be just an amazing ride. I have a mission in Europe, and one of my best friends, Adrian, that we've done a lot of riding in South America together. That was his dream drive. His dream rider was to ride, the wine regions of Europe, in Italy, in Spain, and France. And our plan was, whenever he was ready, he would give me some notice and we would do this together. Unfortunately, he had a heart attack in 2012. After 1 year in hospital, he passed away in March 2013. And his dream ride became my mission. Yeah, when he was still in hospital, I discussed this with him. He was unconscious, but I told that, as soon as we wake up, we would do this ride together. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time. He ended up not waking up. And I promised myself that I would do that ride not only for myself, but I would do for him as well. Yeah, my passion for motorcycle riding, it's a lot more than just a hobby, Everything I've done, in terms of riding a motorbike has really shaped who I am today. It really has helped me the way I see the world. The trips I've done in Asia and South America really helped me to have a better understand what I want from my life. I think as far as I can remember, I wanted to be in two wheels. The first taste I had was at the age of 11. At 16 I had my first motorbike. At 18 I was doing my first trip on my own, 1800 Ks on my own. And when I went overseas, left Brazil, ended up in New Zealand, and went to discover New Zealand on a motorbike. And I done in one trip 4,000 Ks covering both islands. And in 2012 and 2007, I done my first big trip in South America, 1800,000 Ks, covering 6 countries. And after that, it was all about the motorcycling. Really, that addiction just got the best of me. I didn't want to go more snowboarding, mountain biking, or surfing all the spare time I wanted. Was just about riding with my mates or riding on my own, which I did most of the time. I owe a lot of who I am through all the motorcycle riding I done in my life, and the network that I built, through riding, and the friendships that I built through riding. I believe I'm the right candidate for this job because, quite frankly, I can discover more riding a big Harley than anyone that I know, and this is it's not my words. People are horrified to see where I go with my Harley. I know I can ride on the beach, I can ride on the mud, I can ride on a BMX track. I go in festivals that only 4-wheel drives get to, and I get there with my Harley. And maybe because of my background on adventure riding, people had that stigma, and I felt, and I had the same perception. I always thought that I could not only owe a Harley, I had to owe a Harley and adventure bike, because a Harley wouldn't take me everywhere I want to be. And then was when I had my accident in 2011, and I decided I want a lower bike because I was already hopping one leg. Before I could walk, and I had the need to ride. And it was quite difficult for me to ride my big, 1200 Adventure, GS Adventure. So I want to buy a lower bike, end up buying this Harley Electra Glide that I ride today. And I would come with my crunches, jump on the bike and go. It was quite easy to ride, just using one leg. As soon as my other leg was good, I started traveling on it. I was going camping. The more that I started pushing the boundaries, the more I realized how capable the bike is. And then and I never looked back. I started doing with this Electra Glide everything I did, ride a big, GS Adventure before, and people are horrified, to see the places I get to it. And today I own another 2 adventure bikes. In reality, I haven't. Last time I read in then, it was over a year ago. They have a flat battery and a flat tire, and they just have been used because today I know that everything where I want to be, I can get to with a Harley. And now if it is the trip is to, the campaign is to discover more. No one can discover more places than I can with a Harley. And I feel, that I would like to break that stigma, and that perception that people have, and really be able to ride it not only in very unusual places in Europe, but ride around the world on this bike. And if I'm the chosen one, with the fee that I get paid and with the bike, I will not just fly back to New Zealand. I will get this bike all the way from Europe to New Zealand. And I will do this, from Middle East, Asia, down to Singapore, through Australia, and back to New Zealand. And I'm quite confident that myself and the bike can handle it. My name is Fleury. I'm 35 years old. I live in New Zealand, and I'm a New Zealand and Brazilian citizen. I know one of the conditions to apply for this job was to hold a European passport, but I have spoken with the British High Commission in New Zealand, and if I'm the chosen one for this competition, I can obtain a visa without a problem. However, just with my New Zealand or Brazilian passport, I can travel anywhere in Europe without a visa. I can enter all the countries in Europe. The only countries I would require a visa would be Russia and Belarus, and I can obtain a visa there if required. But I just want to leave it clear that if my status of my passport or my work visa becomes a problem, I'm quite happy to do this trip and sign a volunteer agreement for it, because I believe this trip will help me into my ultimate dream of riding the world. I would like to raise money while doing this to be able to do some good, to help underprivileged kids and villages, especially if people there are having problem with access to drinkable water. So if I'm the chosen one and I can do this and get paid in the end, I will bring the bike back to New Zealand, riding from Middle East, Asia and Australia. But otherwise, I'm quite happy to do it for free and just fly back to New Zealand.